Toby from Heavyweight MMA, today with Aussie MMA fighter Dom Farn, street Buddha, training out of Brisbane, out of Team Compton. How are you, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm very good.
I was just looking back. It's been 3 years we've been chatting, bro, here and there. So I was looking at the video, the first one just then, and you look like a little young man. Are you growing into the professional ranks? A few fights in. How's it feel?
Yeah, it's good, man. Yeah, I think you actually did my first interview with me. When I had my pro debut, I think that was the first interview I had done. So it's cool full circle moment that now is I'm getting my chances to go international. I'm able to do another interview with you.
And that's what I was looking at, man. I was looking at your record as well and thinking, I don't think you've had a international fight yet, have you, out of the country?
No, no, this will be the first one.
Okay, so international competition now, looking at road to UFC tournament, which is largely based in China. Mostly people from Asia, and now they're sort of including some people from Australasia too, from New Zealand and Australia, right?
Yep. Yeah. It'll be exciting, man. I think Australia and New Zealand have a lot to offer. So I think it'll be a good tournament to showcase that.
How cool is it then to start to think about having to face something different, man? You've been fighting on the local scene, now actually get to go to probably Shanghai, China to fight, right?
Yeah. It's a completely different style, like overseas, there seems to be a bit of a Japanese style, a bit of a Chinese style as well. I'm excited to see how mine matches up against them.
And I imagine a few of your opponents would be from the China PI, right? Like they're trying to develop talent, like obviously trying to develop talent in China for a few years now. They got a PI. They're doing all sorts of scientific approaches to the training there. Do you know it all?
I haven't actually heard too much about it. I briefly heard like a training partner talking about what they were doing. Um, Yeah, to be honest, I don't know how much can you science some of this stuff. I think a lot of fighting is a mental game. I think sometimes people get maybe too much into the scientific side of it, and then I think you lose kind of a lot of what fighting's about, that mental toughness. Because there'll be I know from talking to lots of different strength and conditioning coaches and physios that most of my schedule is without a doubt overtraining. But I think I get a lot of mental toughness from that. I think I get a little bit of durability from it. And I think that helps me in wrestling exchanges and in being able to bite down on my mouth guard and throw when I need to throw if someone's kind of coming at me and they've clipped me. So, yeah, I like the idea of scientific training, but I would never want to lose that edge that I think you get when you kind of raw dog it a little bit.
That's true, man. And we've all seen Rocky, man. Rocky versus Ivan Drago,
Yeah.
bro. He had all the
Yeah.
science. It didn't help him, did it?
There you go. Absolute proof there.
Absolute proof. Yeah, I think from what I've heard, I actually discussed exactly that point with a guy recently who's the striking coach over there, and I was saying, yeah, you can assess so much, but there's things after talking to so many guys over the years, it seems like one of the biggest traits of successful fighters is like persistence and what you're saying, like the dog in them, right? Because you can come into a gym and have all the athletic performance in the world, but if you don't come to training, you're not going to be any good, right? So the guys that are the best aren't necessarily athletically the best. It's a combination of both, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at guys like Marab and Dreykus that are currently champions, man, they do just have that dog approach where they're just there to get it done. They're not. It doesn't look like they're trying to make everything picture perfect and pretty. It looks like they are just trying to find a way to get something done, and they're having a lot of success with it. So yeah, it'd be hard to argue with that.
Yeah, true, man. So now that you're going to China, bro, just a question. You mentioned your old man is Chinese descent, right? Is he interested in coming over with you, or is he interested in the whole process, or what?
Yeah. I gotta have a think if I have my parents coming over for it. I know that there's less seating at those events. So
It's held in the
I don't know,
UFC PI, right? Like the actual events
yeah,
held in the UFC PI in Shanghai, right?
yeah. But if it was for an example, the setup of contenders, when we went there for Tom's contenders, I think there was a total of 30, 40 people in the crowd. To the point where I think you can hear each person's individual voice. You know what I mean? And I don't really want to be hearing like anyone from my family while I'm in there fighting. Like it just doesn't get me into the right
Yeah.
fight headspace. You know?
Your mum's like
Um,
crying, Dom, no.
yeah, yeah. Like I don't need that. So I'll have to look deeper into it. See
Yeah,
how many seats there are. If there's anything less than I don't know, like 150 seats, I'll have to tell them no. They
yeah.
can wait till I'm in the UFC, then they can come along. You know?
Yeah, maybe if you because I'm not sure how it works. I like the whole process, but I do remember in the Macau UFC there was a couple of fighters on there from Road to UFC. I think it might have been the finals or something actually in the actual
Yeah,
UFC event. If it happens there, there's no chance of hearing them then because it's a big arena. You could get into that.
yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm happy with not having to hear anyone in particular from the crowd. Just hear a bunch of screaming here and there. Like that's better for me for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. All right, bro. So, out of interest, like, what about going? Have you done any prep about going to China? Are you going to learn any phrases, bro? Anything you can say to them? Maybe trash talk people in their own language?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I've thought about that. I've thought about that. Even just like presuming like this, like I go well in the tournament, like I should be there 3 times within the year. Um, so yeah, I've definitely thought about learning a little bit of Mandarin, like at least so I'm not walking around like an idiot my whole time there. Um, Yeah, I do find it really hard to commit to learning other skills, though, especially if I got something coming up. Like it's hard for me
Yeah,
to commit any time to learning like a phrase when I could be learning like like sharpening my craft a little bit. So
yeah, true.
yeah, I'd prefer to be an idiot walking around but be able to fight over there than
Yeah.
not be able to fight but be fluent in speaking to everyone, you know?
That's true. No, it takes a lot of effort to learn languages anyway, bro. I think
Yeah.
maybe something in time, because the thing you have the mindset for dedicating yourself to stuff. So when you do want to do it, it'd be easy for you to say, right, I'm going to do 30
Yes.
minutes a day for the rest of my life, and you'll be able to master it quickly just because of your like
Yeah.
mindset. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
That's it, man. Hey, I must have asked you before, but I can't really remember. Now that we're coming up to fighting in China, your name might be kind of popular, the Street Buddha, and the fact that you got Chinese heritage. Where does that name come
Yeah.
from? Again, I forget. Is it? Did you find? I was thinking about it. You find enlightenment through training, and that it kind of suits you that name, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's funny. It initially all started as like when I shaved my head, which
Yeah.
only ever happened because the barber had fucked up my haircut. Um, and I went, nah, I got to get rid of it. I got to shave it all off because
Oh
I had
yeah.
like like the comb over type of thing, but they cut it and they cut it so it was kind of like on the side of my head. It was all fucked up. Um, but I shaved my head, and then everyone was making like all types of jokes. They're like, "Oh, you look like the last Airbender. Like you look like a monk," you know. And then I had a moment of clarity where I just like at the time like Jorge Masvidal was like a thing, Street Jesus, and I went, "Nah, it's a fucking Street Buddha," and the name kind of stuck a little bit. Um, and it wasn't until like kind of having the name for a while though, I kind of started thinking like, "Fuck, wait, this is kind of weird," because a lot of the things that a lot of the principles that I kind of follow in life and like a lot of the ways that I approach my training like share a lot of similarities with like with Buddhism. And I've actually upon having the name gone and done deeper research into Buddhism because I didn't want to be an idiot. And I was like, oh wow, fuck man, a lot of this stuff I really agree with and it really hits home. So it's kind of interesting that I kind of like got the name first and then I've kind of gone deeper into Buddhism from as a result. But yeah, 100%. I I feel like training MMA is such a good tool to like kind of help with your betterment as a person, not just like as a martial artist, but as a person to be able to address those demons daily and to be able to like you said, try to find an enlightenment.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, just yesterday I was listening to. I don't know if you know Tim Welsh. He's like Sugar Sean O'Malley's coach.
Yep,
I listen to
yep,
these guys every time I train in the gym, like doing weights. I listen to these guys, and
yep.
they were saying like they were saying they're just saying they're lucky they found martial arts because it kind of guided them and they found their like kind of purpose and everything. But they were saying like if anyone can when they're young, they should aim to get a house with a sauna and a plunge pool. It's just funny that these two things are like big part of their like they think it's a big part of well-being is being able to do sauna and keep fit and eat well and all that
Yeah,
sort of sleep
wow.
well, all these things. So it's all the things that they found around martial arts that they feel makes them that they're kind of optimizing themselves and feeling good about it, just mostly about healthy lifestyle and all the associated things. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I've definitely always looked at like I myself am not super religious, but I think there's a lot of things that I do admire about like sometimes like how religious people will will live their life in terms of like there's a certain dedication to it. And I think even though it's about something completely different, I think martial arts kind of serves for that same dedication, that same purpose. And I think that dedication and purpose, having that kind of, I think makes you a little bit of a better person. Helps you deal with stress throughout your life a lot easier. Um, and yeah, like I feel like martial arts has really given me that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, back to Road to UFC, bro. A tough tournament, lots of prospects from around Australasia. Who would you expect your biggest challenges from? What sort of region or any particular fighters that you know of?
Um, I think depending on when we upload this video, I think actually the opponent that I've got in the first round, I think he's probably like the biggest challenge. But that being said, I think it'll serve really well as a tool to kind of like let people know that I mean business. Like if I go out there and I take out someone who's kind of predicted to be like number one seed or something, and I do it in the first round, I think kind of lets everyone else in the tournament know, like, okay, this guy's here. He means business. Um, and yeah, yeah, I think I think a lot of the Australians seem to have like smaller records, but a lot of these guys from like Japan and stuff, they're big records. They seem to be versing a lot of people with quite neutral records. So, like they're versing guys that are like 10-10, um, and they're not super scary, intimidating young prospects coming up against them. Um, so I plan to kind of bring that in. I don't think my opponent has ever really had to deal with that before. Um, I don't think he's had to deal with someone getting in his face the way that I get in people's faces. Putting the pressure on that I put the pressure on in fights.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be my key to victory is
Yeah.
kind of that unrelenting pressure.
Nice, man. You said once before about when people see your face on a fight post or whatever, they should expect violence, bro. Are we expecting violence? Are we expecting you to go out with the finish in mind?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I'm absolutely looking for the finish. I don't know if I've brought this up in a previous interview before, but I remember chatting to my mindset coach, Eric Simmons, and we were talking about like how in my loss that I had against Quillan in the title fight, um, I didn't really perform like I normally perform. Like I let the moment get the better of me. I was thinking of too many things that weren't actually the fight. And Eric, he had said to me, he said, like, he talked about the idea of looking to think about things that are in my control as opposed to things that are outside of my control. I was thinking about, will this fight be enough to get me into the UFC? Meanwhile, Quillan was elbowing me, and that's not what I should be thinking about, right? Because it's not even in my control. If I get in the UFC or not, that's not in my control. Like they
Yeah.
could decide, we don't like you, we hate your style, you're not in the UFC. So instead, focusing on something in my control, and in that moment, that's damaging the other guy, right? If I can elbow this guy and I can focus on putting damage on them,
Yeah.
I fight better.
Cool.
And Eric had said to me like, hey, if you had looked over at the end of the fight, you had lost the fight against Quillan, but his face was all busted up, you'd cut him to pieces, would you have felt better about yourself? And I said, yeah, I would have felt way better. So I kind of, from then on, kind of wanted to go into the fights with a bit of a mindset of like, hey, like when I fight this person, win, lose or draw, I want to fuck them up. Like if they win, cool, but I'm not letting them take the win for free. I'm going to look to come to pieces on the way. If I get dropped, awesome, come into my guard. I'm going to look to slice you with some elbows. I'm not going to give anything away for free. So going in with that type of approach has kind of made me feel a lot more relaxed in my fights. My last two fights, I felt more relaxed than ever. And I plan to bring that into this next, these next fights, into this Road to UFC tournament. I want to go in there with a little bit of like, well, I'm here now. Like now's the time where I'm willing to take risks, right? Like I've in my mind, I've already made it to the international stage there. I'm ready to now look for full violence and look to damage this person as much as possible.
Nice, man. Hey, it's on the. I noticed the dates were 22 and 23 of May. Does that mean it's like a tournament like style? Do you have to potentially fight multiple fights, or it's only one fight over those couple of
No,
days?
no, I think it's just the first round, and then I think I don't actually know why it's 2 days. I assume that they're splitting it up so that half the fights are happening on the first one and half the fights happening on the second day.
Oh, not fine. Man, are you thinking like when you go there, it's just 100% focused on the fight, then 100% coming straight back, or are you gonna be trying to spend some time there to have a look around afterwards?
Um, I actually got to ask my management about that. I'd like to stay there a few days after, because I know that I won't get the chance to, I don't know, enjoy Shanghai while I'm during fight week. So I'd like the idea of staying a few days after just to be able to absorb in the culture a little bit. Because before then I'm pretty focused on the fight. Um, yeah, that'd be ideal.
Yeah, man. Do you know Mark Timms? You heard of him before?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
Mark Timms. He's a stand-up fighter. He's traveled around everywhere. He's been in Queensland before too, but he latest most famously out of CKB. Now he's the head striking coach at the PI in Shanghai. So yeah, I just talked with him last week. Yeah, if you have any tips or questions about Shanghai itself, probably be the man to ask, you know what I mean? I was just wondering,
Yeah,
like in
cool.
terms of food and stuff like that, like when you get there, you might have to think about that. It is a little bit westernized as far as Chinese regions go, but you might have to just think about like what the food's going to be like because it might not be exactly what you have back
Right.
home, you know? Because it's kind of weird. China, different parts of it, be hard to find something that you're kind of used to, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was planning to just go classic fight week protocol, like cooking a little bit of chicken breasts and maybe some salmon. Maybe I don't trust the salmon from China as much
You'll be fine,
on a
bro.
fight
You'll be
week.
fine in
You be
Shanghai.
fine?
Shanghai's very
Okay, cool.
westernized. Like there's kind of one
Okay,
of the
sweet.
financial hubs, so they got a lot of Western stuff there, but you just have to find where it is. If you're in the right area, it should be fine. I think. Yeah, for
Yeah,
that
okay,
basic
cool.
stuff, I think you'll be fine. Yeah. Bro,
Yeah, perfect.
you seem pretty intense. Like you say, you don't want to miss out a couple of minutes looking at language or something because you're too focused on everything. So does that mean you don't have any downtime, like zero downtime? You're always focused 100%, or you'd have any activities outside of fighting or things that you do, like watch any shows or anything like that, or you just 100% focused?
So actually fairly recently I've started trying to do a few things outside of fighting. Only because my mindset coach um, talked to me about the fact that like for your brain to learn, like it needs to go into a subconscious state where you can learn that way as well. And for me, the problem is that doesn't happen very often, right? Like if I go sit down and I'm watching some TV, I'm still thinking about fighting. So I never really get that like subconscious learning. And Eric had suggested that I start like playing video games because the reason initially why I stopped playing video games was because I found I get too fixated on it.
Mm,
Um, but he kind of pointed out that's exactly what you need. I need you fixated on something else.
mm.
Um, so I've been playing a little bit of strategy games, like some video games, Halo Wars 2. And that seems to like take my mind off like fighting, because like I got to be fully concentrated on the game, or else I lose, and I'm a real sore loser with anything in life. So um yeah, it definitely takes my attention.
Yeah, that sounds like a good thing. You got to have some balance, bro. Hey, on that you're just saying about your losing about your nemesis, bro, Quillan Salkilld. It must be kind of good to see him be successful in his first UFC fight against that what was his name, Anshul Jubli, and then the
Yeah,
preceding memes or whatever they are, all the videos all over the internet for this
yeah,
poor guy. I feel sorry for the guy,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I got to train with Quillen recently. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't.
But he came around and he did some rounds with some of the boys at Compton's, which is really cool. And it is just one of those things, man. Like we're sat down after the training, we're chatting shit, and it is like, oh wow, we are literally pretty much the same person. Like myself, Tom, and Quillen, we're all such similar people. Like anyone that's really doing this and training as much as we are typically very similar people. So it's like, wow, if he wasn't born on the West Coast and he was born on the East Coast, we probably would have been teammates. So yeah, I'm always happy to see his success, and I do think that it kind of takes the heat off my losses to him a little bit when it shows like this guy is pretty fucking good. I think he's going to do really well in the UFC. I think he does have a really good composure about himself for fighting, and I think that'll take him really far.
Yeah, yeah. Good, bro. Bro, last question. The training, bro, at Team Compton. Obviously, your preparation must be going strong at the moment. Any shout outs to the coaches or sparring partners, whoever that you're kind of working with? Who's your best sort of partners at the moment over there?
Yeah, well, so the whole team is phenomenal. To get work from. Yeah, most of my coaching comes from Professor Steve Compton. Um, I've been working a lot with a lot of the different boys. I think Tom is going to be a really good body as a training partner for this upcoming fight. Um, as the opponent will be a southpaw. Um, so yeah, I think Tom can move around and do everything that this guy can do, but a lot better. So I think it's going to be a perfect replica for both like the wrestling and the striking. Um, yeah.
Nice, man. All right, man. Well, thanks for your time again. Looking forward so much to Road to UFC. See you and some of the other lads from the region to be in there, getting to showcase your skills and your personality. One thing I'll say, bro, is try your best to, take it all in because, it's not, this is one of the benefits of your job that at this point you're getting to travel internationally. So, and fight in one of the
Mm,
bigger shows, start to open up your world. Make sure you sit back sometimes and just take it all in, the whole experience, bro.
100% I will, bro. 100%.
Yeah, cool, man. Hope I can come up and watch you guys at some point. So I'll do my best. I'll keep in touch with you and a couple other guys and see if everything coincides with work, and that'll do my best. It's close to here, so I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to it if I can get
nice.
up there. Yeah,
Yeah, awesome, bro. Fuck
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks a lot. Best of luck.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, man.